beautiful human. I am Xanthe, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you an interview that I did with Rayne Adams. She is amazing, and I can't wait for you to hear her story.
And know that you're not alone. That's the main thing.
Somebody that is going to take you in. Love yourself.
Being your truest self and going from there.
Once you come out, most of the time, things feel easier.
It's a community, and we're all here to help each other.
It was lovely to see you.
You as well.
It's really not good. It was a very big mistake.
Oh no.
Because, you know, rainbows.
Well, you know, there's that.
Rainbows are pretty good.
Hey.
So I'm just gonna ask you like some questions or whatever, so.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, first of all, what do you identify as?
I identify as a bisexual female.
Alright.
So it's pretty basic.
And then, how old are you?
I just turned 19.
Okay, solid. So you can drink in Canada, wow.
Woohoo!
Ew, pandemic. And so when is the, like, earliest memory of you kind of feeling different than your surrounding peers?
Probably grade 7 or 8, maybe grade 6, like, around that time, like, yeah, probably grade 6 or 7.
Alright.
Roughly, yeah.
And, what was was there anything specific that happened that made you kind of feel different, or was it just...
Well, I had a friend in grade 7 and 8 that identified as lesbian, and, you know, like, we became really, really, really close friends, and she told me flat out that she was lesbian, and I wasn't sure what I, identified as, so, like, she was coming on to me, and I was, like, a little, like, I was like, whoa, what's happening? But, like, yeah, it kind of was, like, it wasn't, like, out of the blue, it just was kind of, like, subtle,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own, like, path, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, who was the first person that you told, like, I'm bisexual, I identify as bisexual?
Probably one of my really close friends. Like, all throughout high school, I kind of had, like, those friends that were just kind of, like, just thought I was straight all throughout high school. And so, like, I told a friend who went to a different school that, like, we've been friends for 7 or 8 years. So it kind of was, like, I could trust her, and, like, one night I was like, hey, so I have something to, like, tell you, and, you know, she kind of was like, I already know, like, I was like, how? Like,
Yeah, my friend, when I told her, she's like, I already knew, man. I'm like, but I didn't even know. How did you know?
like, how? I don't understand how people can just, like, tell, like,
I don't know.
It's kind of strange and scary at the same time. It's like, do I come off as that, or is it, like, it's...
Yeah, I don't know. They have, like, some sort of power or something.
Yeah.
And so then, when you came out, to your parents, like, how was the reaction to that?
My mom, again, was like, I know, because, like, I don't want to be, like, that person, but it's, like, all in the way, like, I dress. It's kind of, like, not really feminine. It's more, like, masculine. So it's more or less, like, my mom either thought I was lesbian, or if I was bisexual, she just 100% knew I wasn't straight. Like... But yeah, she accepted me for who I am, and she was like, I'm not gonna judge you, just, like, be yourself. Like, she was proud of me in a sense for, come into terms with who I actually am.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
And then how was high school for you? Was there any like bullying that you faced?
Oh boy. Well, I was with someone for almost 4 years, and like at the beginning of the relationship, I basically was like, I had in my head that I was straight and I was not ready to come out yet. And I was with this person all throughout high school. It more or less was like as the years went on, like this was like grade 11, I was like, okay, like I think I'm ready to come out. Like I was just starting to accept the fact that I was bisexual, but the person I was with was kind of like, no, you're straight. Like there's no way you can go from dating me to dating girls. And when I broke things off with that person, it like people started to come after me and be like, how can you start liking girls when you dated a guy for 4 years? And like it cut deep because it was like I had this persona that I convinced everyone that I was straight, and just because like I was just afraid of what people would think of me, if they would think of me like different. But once I found the right crowd and the crowd of people that like truly accepted me, it more or less was like a giant weight was lifted off my shoulder, because I basically was pretending to be somebody I'm not. And like it, as I said before, like it did hurt when that person like looked me right in the eye and said, you're straight, like there's no way you can be bisexual. And like that person I was with, and especially like his family, they were really homophobic people. Like I have a lot of friends in the LGBTQ plus community, plus myself, and like a couple of friends would call me, and some of them were gay, and like his family would make a lot of homophobic remarks, and I'd just sit there and I'd be like, you do realize I'm in that community too. I just didn't want to like flat out say it, in like the fear that I'd just be judged based on like who I am, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm sorry, that really sucks.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like there's people out there that are gonna judge no matter what. The best thing I could do is keep my head up high and keep being myself, really.
And yourself is awesome, so.
Oh, thank you.
And so then, did you know about the GSA that was in high school? Did you kind of avoid it?
I went a couple times, and like I really like the vibes I got, and like the people there were really like inclusive and very accepting. But it was like at that point in time, I was just not ready to flat out say I'm bisexual because of the friends I hung around, which I wish I attended more, because like I needed just to be myself throughout high school. I was just kind of like pretending to be someone I'm not. So I guess like it all falls back on like the people I hung around, because they were also really, really homophobic. Like they saw me walking out of a meeting one time and they just started teasing the crap out of me, and then I had to defend myself, be like, no, like I'm straight, when deep down I knew I wasn't. Like it's, yeah, like
So then, when you came out, did you lose a lot of friends? Did you gain a bunch of more friends? Like, how did that kind of work?
I lost a lot of people because everyone all throughout high school saw me as straight, and they got used to the fact of me only liking guys. And then, when I decided to come out to my best friend, then I slowly came out to like the people around me, and I thought those people cared about me, like cared enough about me to support me, but like I was called many, many derogatory terms for just being myself, and I did gain a lot of people, like a lot of people saying that like they support me, and that kind of it weighed out like the bad. So it's kind of like that a bit, but like
Do you
yeah.
feel like happier now that you have those people who accept you for you? Like, are you happy that you came out at the time that you did?
Yeah, like I think I waited a bit too long. Well, I mean, like there is no waiting too long, but I feel like because I knew at such a young age, it just like I kind of carried a weight on my shoulder. And then once I started to come out to like my close family and friends, it more or less was just me being like, this is me. Like I can't change who I am, like what gender I like. It just was more or less just a giant weight and a ton of stress just like released, and like I felt calm for the first little bit, and then like I started to be like, okay, this is who I am. Like I can't change who I am.
And you shouldn't, though.
Yeah, like
And I know that bisexuals have a hard time kind of explaining their sexuality because a lot of people are like, how can you like both or whatever? But what is like the biggest misconception about your sexuality that you would say?
a lot of people when they find out I'm bisexual, even to this day or in the past, they have looked at me and they're like, you're not going to be loyal because you have so many like options. Like they basically they put around people, not just me, but people who are bisexual, that because we like both genders that we're more likely to cheat, because like as I said before, like they're like I don't know how else to put it, but like we have in a sense like more options. And I feel like that is like it's not only rude to just assume, like it all just depends on the person. Like if I'm with someone, I'm with that person and nobody else but that person.
Yeah.
Like it's just who I am, if that makes sense. Yeah.
For sure. And then kind of like more generally, what is, I guess, you kind of touched on this before, but the hardest part about being part of the community for you?
I mean, well, for me, it's well, for one, coming out. Uh, two, probably just being accepted. Like when I first came out to like some relatives, there was one in particular that like in grade 8 I thought I was lesbian. I'll be completely honest, like I was very 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 confused, and I told one of my relatives, and they tried to convince me that I wasn't, and was saying that it's a phase. Like a ton of people, like even now, are like, are you sure you're not just confused? Are you sure it's not just a phase? Like, no, this is who I am. This is, you know, what I like, and I can't change what I like. It's like, in a sense, like I don't want to say like it's hard being in the community. It's just there's a lot of stigma around people in the community. Like some people, when they see me on the street, they're like, you don't look like you're in the community. Like you don't have to look apart to be it. Like it's just like if you like girls and guys, that's you. Like I'm not gonna go around being like you have to change because I'm a certain way. Like I find people in the community, they're always being judged and always being looked over, and they're always, you know, being the last of the bunch because people, they just overlook, like in a sense, like us. Like it's sad to say, but it's true.
Yeah. And then on a happier note, I just like to go with the negative first and then the positive because I like
Yeah.
happy things. But what is the best part about being part of the community?
The best part is just being able to openly be yourself and to know that, you know, there are people that go through the same things that, like, you know, say, like, everyone at one point in the community goes through, you know, people saying homophobic things and, you know, just being rude in general and like asking the wrong type of questions at the wrong time. I find people in the community just super open. Like if you ever have a question, you can always, you know, talk to someone. Like everyone's very inclusive and very accepting, and that is honestly like the best thing. Like when I first came out, I was talking to so many people. Like I was like, what did it like? How did you know if you were like bisexual? Like it just was kind of like, it's not like it was like a feeling. It was more just like, it was more or less like, well, it was like a feeling, but like I kept asking so many people like, how'd you know? Like what were the kind of signs? And then once they told me their experiences, and then, you know, if I was out in Toronto and I'd see, you know, a pretty girl, I'd be like, yep, I am bisexual. Like
Yeah.
it kind of was like, because, you know, I'd walk around and I'd like only look at guys, and I'm like, okay. And then, you know, I'd see a pretty girl, or, you know, someone would hold the door open for me, and I'd just kind of give them like the little little look. And like everyone does it, like no matter what you're attracted to. And you know, I remember there was one day in particular that when I first started to come out, I like there was like I was can't remember where I was. I think it was at Canada's Wonderland, and I was with a group of friends, and this girl approached me, and you know, she asked for my number, and I was kind of like, I was like, okay. And then we started talking, and we hit it off, and then, you know, that was when I officially knew. Like it's just kind of like, yeah, like
For sure. Um, and then the last question, which is like the hardest one, but you can do it. Um, what advice would you give someone who is struggling with their sexuality?
I well, from personal experience, is that like if you're not ready to come out, if you're not ready to, you know, face the world as you are, then stay in the closet. Like there's no pressure, there's nothing that anyone can say but you. It's all your decision. Like, and if you are ready to come out, like talk to someone you trust, like your friend, like a parent, like an aunt or uncle, like even like a teacher or someone that you trust, or a guidance counselor, because, you know, coming out, it's more or less you just being like, hey world, this is who I am. And there are going to be people that, you know, are going to judge and who are not going to accept you. And I feel like that's the hardest part with, you know, coming out. But it's also like, just be yourself. Like there's so much stigma around just being in the community as itself. But if, you know, if people are ready to come out, and if, you know, and if you want to accept who you are, then just be you. Like if you want to identify as a tree, just identify as a tree. Like you can honestly just be yourself. Just know that you are not alone, that there are so many, so many, so many people out there who have either gone through what you've been through or are currently going through it. Like there are tons and tons and tons of people that are just always going to have your back. Like as you said, like it's a community and we're all here to support each other. Like, there is no judgment. There is no, like, are you sure? Like, and if you're ready to come out, be yourself. Like, no one's gonna judge you. And that's one thing I realized when, like, I did start coming out. Because I thought I was gonna be judged. And then once I did, it was kind of like people were just popping out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, like, I support you. And I was like, wow. Like, it is such a good feeling having, like, just knowing that there are people that have your back and that people are always, always, always going to be there for you. So.
Thank you, Rayne. Yeah,
No
and
problem.
whoever's watching this video is getting a lot of good advice, so thank you so much. Okay.
No problem.
It was lovely talking to you and getting your story and your insight, and I really hope that the person who's watching this, that this helps, and yeah.
Really hope I help some people, you know, help share their story, because, you know, like, it's a community and we're all here to help each other. So,
Sure.
well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later at some point.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and comment down below what was your favorite part of this video. Subscribe for more videos if you haven't already, and click that little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I post every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a lovely day, and here are some more videos that you can watch next. See you next week. Bye!